So what's up, you guys? We are back, and I'm with the lady of the hour, Miss Tempestt Harris. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing very well. So happy to be here.
Okay, she's happy to be on the couch with me. So I want to say, just looking at your journey and the inspiration that you are. What inspires you?
I think first off, it would be God that inspires me. Um, I have been in this business since I was 17. I'm 30 years old now. So it's been a journey, and what inspires me is just the love of the entertainment industry, the love for wanting it to be more positive. And God truly, truly is the CEO of Level 21, honestly. But He allows me to run it, so we just keep it moving like that. So I get inspired daily by Him.
That's awesome. And because you're in it, you're doing entertainment, you're doing fashion, you're doing community work. And speaking on your community work, that I think that's powerful, and it's really needed. It's needed amongst so many females, because I see the level of foundation is mainly about the youth girls, correct?
Yeah, it's for girls that are 10 to 17 in underprivileged neighborhoods, or they have low self-esteem, maybe have went through abuse, not necessarily come from a bad neighborhood, but just have some issues that they need big sisters for. So the Level Up Foundation is like a big sister organization, and we just take them on trips, we get them counseling, we pay for whatever classes they want to take, and just make sure it's a free program. And we just make sure every year we try to raise enough money to provide for the girls that we have in the program. So that's a big thing, because for me, just doing the magazine is cool, but it has to have some sort of meaning behind it in order for me to really be all in. Yeah.
So did you go to school for anything that you're doing? I mean, from producing to the magazine work, like was it just like a craft and you just built on that?
I did not go to school for any of this. So I went to school for graphic design, which I hated. I hated it. I would cry while doing projects.
No.
Yeah, so I didn't know. I wanted to be an animator. I wanted to make the Finding Nemos and all that, because I could draw, and I always wanted to learn how to make cartoons and things like that. So when I originally signed up for the Art Institute, I thought that's what that was, because they were like, oh, we don't have an animation program, but we have a graphic design program, that could get you blah, blah, blah. That was their way of just getting me into school. So when I got there, I was like, wait a minute. We only had one animation class, and I was not a happy camper. So, I did not even graduate. I was just like over it after like 2 years of just, and a little ADD I think I have. I'm not diagnosed ADD, but I promise you, sitting in the classroom has been hard for me since kindergarten. So I didn't go to school for any of that. But the one thing that we did do in class was the magazine covers. And that right there sparked something in me. And a couple of friends of mine there, we started the first publication that I had, which was the Movement Magazine in 2010. It was called Cream Magazine, and it had Lil Wayne on the front. Cash rules everything around me. You know where your mind's at when you're young. So I was like, I'm going to be a millionaire, and that's what this magazine cover is going to be. And I wasn't thinking I was going to actually do a magazine. Like, I was just doing the cover. So the cover was Cream, and I put Lil Wayne on the front because at the time he was my favorite rapper. And the funny part is that when I really actually did the magazine, the Movement Magazine, it was me, a friend named Ruben, shout out to Ruben, a friend of mine named Ruben, and a couple of other people, we just got together and did this magazine. I didn't go to school for writing or whatever, but I got some, hey, you know how to write? We're going to do something. We're going to put this thing together. We built a team, and And then that's when Cash Money called me and asked me, because there were no magazines that did hip hop R&B, because that's what I was doing at the time. So Cash Money called and said, can we put Lil Chucky on the cover, and can we do an interview with Lil Chucky? And I was like, first of all, I ain't never even did an interview. And third of all, how did they get my number? And fourth of all, like, we don't know what we're doing. So that was really, that was a big thing. And that's how it kind of came together, yeah.
That's a good story. That's a good story right there. Like, everything just fell in place. So by that being part of your journey, that's not all. You know, with so many things, I think with a journey, you know, you go through things. Some people's journey is rougher than others, but it's all about how you come out. And Tempest came out. She came out. So with that being said, part of your journey, you know, from, you know, with the youth, you discussed, you know, how you dealt with abuse and, you know, bullying. And bullying, I think everyone, if you haven't been bullied, then I don't know. Some way, some form.
It's true. I was never like the cool kid. I was always the quiet, weird, awkward artist in the corner that would hang with the weird people. And I mean, I wanted to be, you know, I wanted to be cool, right, but it just wasn't in my DNA. Just from the time I can remember, I had been bullied for whatever reasons. You know, you never know why, you know, you're being bullied or targeted. But yeah, I had went through abuse when I was 5, going from being molested, for being physically, emotionally abused throughout the years. I think it lasted a total of about 20 years of abuse, because once I got out of the abusive situation that I was in, with a couple of family members. It wasn't just one family member, but it was a few family members that had abused. And I kept it a secret. I didn't tell my family. I didn't tell anybody what I was going through. And so after that, I got into a relationship that was not healthy. So then that lasted another 6 or 7 years. So for total, I think and when I met my husband, at 24, but I think 23 was the end of that season of my life. But I wanted to make sure that when I did something, because, you know, God had spoke to me and I had got saved and gave my life to Christ around the time I was 24, I knew that I had to reach out and mentor girls that went through the things that I went through, or, you know, able to like show them, like, no matter what you go through, no matter what the devil throws at you, it was for a reason. The struggle was for a reason. And now I'm able to understand, like, there's nothing that a young lady could come up to me and say that she's been through that I can't somewhat relate to. So I think that even though it was, at the time, it was hard, I wouldn't change it, because it made me a really strong person. And then I'm able to help people.
Everyone.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because, you know, everyone cannot open up. Some people just, you know, we were talking earlier about how people just act like they haven't gone through anything. They, you know, everything is just perfect. And I think we should open up and, you know, speak on things. You know, we want to be in this industry. We have to touch people, and I think that's part of our ministry as journalists.
That's true, and it's. And still, as a business owner, you can't hide the fact that I had to take buses to meetings, that I had to buy an outfit and take it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't sit here and hide that, because that's a part of the struggle. That's a part of the journey of doing something and starting something, and literally starting from the bottom, from nowhere, with $0 and 0 cents, and being in school and like just still pressing forward and still wearing it well, because people look at me and think that I have not been through nothing, and I thank God I don't look like what I've been through.
Amen. You spoke a little bit on how you started with the magazine. So, you know, how do you get into Level 21 Magazine? How did that come up?
Okay, so after I did the Movement magazine, I did 2 issues. That one with the first one, and then the one with Lil Chucky on it. And then I stopped because at the time I was very, I don't want to say weak, but very sensitive. So the hip hop scene, the no shade to hip hop, but it was not at all my personality. I mean, people were so mean, rude, and hateful. And I used to try to have events. I mean, I would get cussed out for wanting to get in, and the ticket was only $5. I don't know why we fighting right now, you know. So like, just dealing with that was, and then dealing with just my own personal struggles at the time before I even, you know, knew God. It was like, I quit. I gave up. You know how they tell you never give up. I quit, and I quit, and I gave up, and I stopped doing it for a couple of years. And so then I was miserable because I wasn't doing really what I loved. I didn't know I really loved it that much. I just knew, like, I love being around superstars. I love being around people who are great at what they do because it is so inspirational. And like I said, being an art, you know, even though being an artist is fun, but being an artist and being around other artists that have taken it to another level, just being around those people and being in a room with those people is something that I wanted in my life. And I fit in, and I love nice things. I love red carpets. I like money. I was like, this is the perfect environment for me. Like, I fit right in because all these people, you know, celebrities and stuff, they're all weird. You know what I mean? Like, like behind the scenes, like if you really get to know them, they're all quirky, weird people. So you feel like, I'm at home. I mean, you meet a couple crazy ones. You meet a few that's got big egos and things like that. But in general, like, you're meeting another artist. And so the creativity is there. The way that they think is kind of similar to the way that you think. So that whole situation was for me. So after I stopped for 2 years, it was God spoken to my spirit. If you want to be happy, you need to start back doing it, and you need to do it in the fashion industry. And I was like, fashion? I like fashion, but I'm no fashionista. I know what looks good on other people, but I don't know what really looks good on me, you know. But I was like, okay, I'll do that. I'll start in the fashion industry. And it was called Level Up Magazine, just like Level Up Foundation. But another magazine started at the same exact time that I did, called Level Up Magazine. So I had to change the name, and I went to Peter and Josh's house from Pack Public Relations and asked them, I said, what do you think about Level 21? And I was like, what you think about the 21? I said, because the 21 for me is the highest state of consciousness. That's what it means to me. So I felt like I reached the highest state of consciousness when I found out who I was and the value in myself. And so, and overcame. So when I look at 21, it's a symbolism of overcoming. So they was like, yeah, go with the 21. They was like, yeah. So I was like, is it bad to change the name? Like, because people know Level Up. And they was like, yeah, just change the name and send out a letter or something, right? So, yeah. So I did that. And it was 2 years after that, you know, building these relationships in the fashion industry and the entertainment industry. Here we are, Level 21 Magazine.
Level 21 Mag. When I say your Tempestt Empire, I call it Tempestt Empire. Tempestt Empire franchise, because it's all next. This Level Up. So you spoke on Level Up Foundation. So it's, you know, to help the community. And so when does it start? Like, is it year round? Because I think the first time I heard about it, it was like last spring.
It's every summer that we do something with the girls, that we, you know, make sure they're good for the school year and things like that. It's throughout the year we do take care of them if they need something, like if it's their birthday or if it's need, or if they just need somebody to talk to. So for me, it's year round, but really we start the activities and the fun stuff and the, you know, all of that stuff in the summertime. So we raise money throughout the year to start that. And Yeah, the Level Up Foundation is really big to me, and being a philanthropist as well. I always try to give back to other nonprofits while we're in the midst of doing our nonprofit.
And that's how the fashion excursion came out. Cause I know that is the fashion excursion is like Level Up Foundation sponsorship and Level21 Magazine. Like it's everything together. So how did that come about?
Yeah, so the fashion excursion is basically me and Shakura Ani. Shakura is like the queen of production here in Charlotte, and she does the production behind a lot of shows, and she's also one of the best designers that I know. So she made my dress for Walking with a Purpose, which was Candace's event that we did together. But when I met her, our spirits just clicked. I mean, she is just one of the most genuine people that I know. And so I said, I wanted to do a yearly event. And so we came up with the fashion excursion, which is a luxury bus ride that takes you to a fashion show. And then there's a pre-show as well, a pre-VIP show. So really how that happened was me and Shakur were just talking, and we was like, let's do the fashion excursion, and that money can go towards the foundation. And it's a Level 21 event. Because I don't really do a whole lot of events because we're so stretched out doing a million things throughout the year. So we're like, I would love to do an event every month, because everybody's like, you should do an event every month. I'm like, I would love to do that. If you want to put it on for us, you go right on ahead. But that's how the fashion excursion started. And I mean, the one that we're having next year, it's not a game out here. You have to come to the fashion excursion year 3. It's going to be phenomenal.
Because that was actually, when I got that invite, that was actually my first time hitting the red carpet. Listen, you guys, that was my first time hitting a red carpet. No. Listen. So now, this Level 21 TV, which is the new addition to the Level Foundation, Tempest, everything. Tell us about that. Because, listen, when we went to the premiere, I was like, yo, this, I can see it. Honestly, I can see it on MTV, something like that. But then I can also see it just, everyone just growing to love it. So, she sips. So what about that? What kind of can they stay tuned for that?
Level 21 TV is a part of the Level 21 brand. We're going to be doing Level 21 Radio as well soon. That'll be probably next year's adventure. But Level 21 TV is a way for me to spotlight business owners and a way to spotlight local and national talent. On the next episode of Level 21 will be Bow Wow, of course. And this first episode, it was Melissa Latin from Charlotte Fashion Play, one of my favorite people in the world. And she was the first guest. So I'm excited about all the guests we're about to have on. For like, Fantasia came to the premiere, and she supports Level 21, anything that we do. She's like, whatever you guys need. I love her voice. I mean, she's a beautiful person, and I can't wait for you guys to see what we do together. And so having Fantasia support us and having this TV, the Level 21 TV is just taking off. And our cast, Stephanie, Sha, and Jerry, they're already stars in their own light, and so is Byron. Byron's on TMZ. Stephanie has always been our red carpet correspondent for Level 21 since we started. Sha, of course, she's interviewed so many great people, Juju and Cardi B. She's an actress. She's making short films. She's a director. She's a producer. Then you got Jerry. He in the Shade Room. He done style Safari's girl or whatever, Star Barbie, whatever her name is, the sweetheart. But he styled her and ended up his fashion, him being a stylist, ends up in the Shade Room and ends up all over the blogs. And I'm like, do you realize that you did this, And so I'm like, my team of people that God has placed around me is something that I couldn't even dream of, because it came about in such a genuine, organic way. So I feel like my team is just people that are more like my family. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want to work with Level 21. I want to do things with Level 21. And I'm like, I don't mind you coming and volunteering, and I love to have you. But I have to keep it in the people. If they didn't walk with you, they can't fly with you. And that's how I feel. I feel like they walked with me. I feel like when I was going through my hardest moments of life, my team has been there, and we have been rocking it out all over for the entire, years that I've been doing this. Yeah.
Started from the bottom, now we here. Listen, so you do a lot of things in the community. Why do you go so hard for the community? Why do you go so hard for Charlotte?
Because I was born and raised here. I was born and raised here, and I grew up in Greertown. I grew up off Milton Road. I grew up in some of the worst neighborhoods. I have Dalton Village, Earl Village. My family was here before there was the Uptown. There was the hood. Before there was Davidson and all of that, there was the hood, and I grew up there. I grew up here. And I love my city. And what I did was I went outside of my city to build my brand, and then I brought it back.
What would you say to anyone that's trying to build a brand or that's trying to push through?
I would say look at the professionals that are doing it on a larger level. Because a lot of times I've seen flyers that are made in Microsoft Word, and I'm trying to understand how is that possible, because there are literally online flyer makers these days that are free, and you can just go on there and just make you a good old flyer, and this thing will look professional. So what I'm saying is there are resources nowadays that you need to take advantage of, and then on top of that, it's so many different people doing what you're doing, but they're doing it at a good so what I'm saying is try to match that or go above that. Right. I'm really big on quality, and I'm really big on making sure that it when it's presented it look like MTV made it. Right. That's what I go for, or BET made it, or whoever made it, like a network. That's what I shoot for. I'm not shooting for it to look like just mediocre. I'm like, what do I need to learn, or who do I need to talk to make sure that when I put it out, that it looks like that, because that's what's going to get the attention of the ones who are going to be able to look at you and say, you're ready. Let's partner.
So, as a female entrepreneur, now, listen, ladies, I have to commend you, because you have been the women entrepreneurship state is high. Y'all, you all are conquering. So as a female entrepreneur, what has been most challenging?
Honestly, it's kind of been a little easy for me. I don't know what it's been like for everybody else, but they say black women don't support each other. That's a lie, in my experience.
Exit out.
I think we've been that's why we're doing good. I think the issue that men have is men want to be number one. All of them want to be number one. Women, I just want, I'm not saying I don't want to be number one. I just want my spot. Right. The spot that belongs to me. If I got my spot, you got your spot, we good. If my spot is number one, I'm not mad. But whatever the spot is that God has for me, my spot, that's what I want. So I feel like with us women these days, like black women, women period, I've been seeing just the support from other women that's been overwhelming. So I think that there's something going on, because it used to not be that way, but it is now. From everybody. I don't really have a challenge in that area. Even with guys, I guess because my work speaks for itself and everything that I do, I don't even have an issue with guys coming at me a certain way. It used to be like that when I was younger. Guys would be trying to be, sexual, or say, things to you, or you got to do this and you got to do that to be, or flirt or whatever, and not treat you like a equal. That was how it used to be when I was younger, but I haven't ran into that issue lately. I guess, like I said, when you're doing it with God, it's a whole different it's a whole different thing. There's literally like a difference between before and after. He really, really protects me, and he really brings awesome people. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some stuff that happens because that's life. There are some girls that have done some pretty crazy stuff, but it's very far and few in between. Yeah, it's not on a big level or anything.
I want to say shout out to Beyonce, because after that good song, "Who Run the World," girls, listen. She put it in the atmosphere. She put it in the atmosphere, and it just went everywhere. It just went everywhere. So another inspirational question, or just motivational. Just motivate our young professionals. Okay. Like, just put that in the atmosphere.
Young professionals, like I said, don't rush. Don't just throw out anything. And don't just work with anybody that wants to work with you. Look them up. Because you can't, like, I look up everything and everybody. Like, before I even will work with you, I got to see what you posting, what you writing. Your social media is big. Yes. You out here posting whatever you want to post. You out here fight videos, talk about you want to work with Duke Energy. They're going to go over there. They're going to look at you, and you wonder why you're not getting a call back. Because they're like, because we don't know. You're not even if you are doing things, don't post everything don't belong on social media. All your issues, all your problems, all your everything, because they're looking at you. So that's the one thing for young people, young professionals, is your social media is looked at by companies and people who want to work with you. And if it's not, I
just got to know how, what's next? What's next? We have the Level Up TV, with Level21 TV. We have the show that's coming up next, the Fashion Excursion. What's planned? And tell everyone how they can watch or get the tickets, for those things.
Okay, so like, first of all, my timeline is always lit because I light it up. You gotta light it up yourself sometimes. So, first of all, you can always follow me on social media at Tempestt CEO, and the Level21 Mag. Level21 Mag is the Instagram. Level21 Magazine is the YouTube, the Facebook, the Twitter. So, you can always just type that in and follow us and see what we got going on next, because it's always a lot. And our next person is Bow Wow, of course. So I'll be with him Saturday, and they're going to be here with the rap game kids. So it'll be Jermaine Dupri and all of them. They'll be here, and so that's coming up next. So of course I'm gonna probably go live with Bow Wow while we try to get him measured, because we're gonna do a 90s theme. So this is gonna be the 90s music meets fashion issue. So it's going to be a really fun issue. We're going to be into the 90s fashion, and we're going to have a whole lot of artists from Charlotte and in the nation, and he's also going to be on Level21 TV as well. So all of this is going to be, if you follow me, then you get to see the whole process. Like, everyone else gets to see just the results, but people who follow me and follow Level21 actually get to see the process of the behind the scenes, how we do this and how we do that, because I really want people to know what goes into what you see, because people see the end, they see the cover, they see the magazine, they see the show result, but they don't know what goes into actually putting it together. So I like to show the process, and then I like to show the result when you follow me. So yeah, definitely go to www.level21mag.com and follow us there, follow us on social media. It's so much I can't even it's so much that I have coming up that it's nice for real. It's good, but it's a lot.
You have to stay tuned. You guys, listen, I want to say thank you for this interview. Tempest CEO, media queen, publisher, strategist, the list goes on. But you know what? Stay tuned. She shouted out her social media, her handles. Keep up with Level21, Level Up Foundation. This is Johneri'O Scott. Miss Tempestt Harris, Queen B. We out, you guys.